Alright, so boom. Welcome back to another video. It's Saturday. Like I told y'all I was gonna bring the crime cases to y'all every Wednesday and Saturday. I'm probably gonna start calling this like Crime Watch or something like that. And for y'all that like this subject, we'll give y'all a name and all the other stuff. But I'm glad to have y'all here. Thank you for coming. Welcome back. And my newcomers, I appreciate y'all. It's like 45 newcomers, man. Shout out to y'all. Thanks for joining the family in the journey. I got a lot stored for y'all. A lot coming. For starters, you already know it's 24 in a day, 7 in a week, 29 to 31 days in a month, depending on the month, 365 days in a year. Don't spoil it, all right? Boom. If you need context, just ask me and I'll explain to you. Because I'm tired of repeating myself all the time. Just don't spoil it, bro. Don't spoil it. Alright, so today, what I have for y'all is this Mackenzie case about this teenager. I've been seeing it circling around and it popped up on my feed. So I kind of want to know what it's about. I don't know what it's about. I done like minimum research just to get a gist. I know like she wrecked a car, killing her ex-boyfriend and his best friend, and it was 3 of them in the car. And they trying to say she didn't do it or she did do it. Now the details behind it, I don't know. We gonna find that out today together. But yeah, I still got 2 videos for y'all, so you already know it's finna be a long one. Get your drinks, your snacks, whatever you need to relax, cause this gonna be a long one. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for the next one as well. And then I forgot. I might be doing a giveaway. If y'all want a giveaway, like the video. Depending on how many people like the video, if I get let's see, 10 likes, we'll do a giveaway. Just 10 likes. I know y'all could do it. Y'all did it before. Just 10 likes and we'll do a giveaway. On the main video, not the short. This video that I'm posting. But let's get into it. This video right here is deadly teen wreck leads to murder charges. By any y'all subscribe to them, go support them over there. Oh, I didn't want to click that. Let's do it.
Southwest dispatch.
There's a car that's smashed up against the building. The car's trashed.
The car's split in 2.
It truly was
Split in 2?
crash site.
There's an occupant inside. We gotta bust the window out now. Oh my God. Oh my God. ×3, guys. Radio, 3 occupants.
Even though nobody really wanted this to be a terrible, horrible, purposeful homicide, it was. That's exactly what it was.
Okay.
Right leg.
Oh, it was bad. They flying people out.
Pistol force I've ever seen.
Who drives into a building at 100 miles an hour on purpose?
She flew through the sign.
Your wife is in a bar. You said she's unresponsive.
This is what he's going to tell you. How to get out of that situation.
And I grabbed the gun.
Trying to find the first place to put a body.
No, sir.
The only thing they could do was kill him.
You want to say anything?
We, the jury, and to find the defendant.
Killer cases. Ooh.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
Strongsville is a suburb 15 miles outside of Cleveland. Nice little quiet suburb, a family community, a great place to live.
And it was that time of year, you know, where the kids would go, you know, everybody's having graduation parties.
Wait, it happened a year ago.
We knew
my bad. I think I said
was out
4
with
years
some
ago.
friends.
I thought it happened 4 years ago. My bad.
Dominic, Mackenzie.
They were just hanging out.
They all were planning on staying the night. They woke up close to 5 o'clock in the morning. Mackenzie was driving. Davion Flanagan was in the back seat, and Dominic Russo was in the passenger seat. She uses her blinker. She slows before the turn.
58, 59 seconds later, this car, like a missile.
Drive responsibly. Jesus. God.
This happened on a Sunday morning early, and it was 45 minutes before a passerby noticed the crash.
Southwest Dispatch.
There's a car that smashed up against the building. She smashed the sign and hit the building. The car's crashed.
It truly was a horrific crash site.
This car's split in two. Radio, there's an occupant inside. Send us a squad now.
Nothing prepares you for what you see on that body cam.
We gotta bust the window out. Send us some more units.
Any more units to progress now, Anita?
Now!
What are we going?
31's one up.
This is not a fresh accident either. She's been here for a while.
That flashlight ain't doing nothing, buddy.
Radio, we got at least 2 occupants in here. No one's moving. Oh my God. Oh my God. Times 3, guys. Radio, 3 occupants. No one's conscious. No one's breathing. Bust that window out.
Both Dominic and Davion are lifeless.
Who can hear my voice? Driver's radio. The driver
Look at that car.
is breathing, unconscious. Radio, they're gonna need full extraction on all 3. Oh, man.
Not good, not good.
Let me see your knife. Let's cut this thing out.
This is bad, guys. She's alive. We got to get her out somehow. To try to get her out? Oh, dude, I don't know if we can.
Mackenzie is inside of the vehicle. She's trapped underneath the dashboard.
Driver, 17-year-old female, still breathing, wedged in there.
She had to be extracted by jaws of life.
Okay.
Right leg.
She had a broken leg, several broken ribs. She was life flighted.
I'll cut you loose.
I truly still do not know how Mackenzie survived that crash.
Jesus Christ. This is the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They found Dominic and Davion not wearing seatbelts. They were sort of stacked on top of one another, laying from the front passenger seat through to the rear driver's side seat.
Davion and Dominic were killed instantly.
Damn.
Rest in peace, buddy.
Damn.
This is gonna be just a nightmare of a day for this whole department.
Yeah. Fuck, bro.
And they called me on the phone right around lunchtime. And the police detective asked, you know, if I was the father of Davion Flanagan, and said there'd been a horrible crash, and that our son didn't make it. And that was just a gut punch.
He was the oldest of a sibling group of 3 that we adopted from foster care. He was also the starting running back for Strongsville High.
Damn.
We got the phone call, and that completely just changed our lives, demolished so many dreams.
Yeah. Shout out to them for adopting too.
They went to see Mackenzie Shirilla in the hospital. They were taken aback by she and her parents' hesitancy to speak with them.
It's from her. Yeah. So whether or not she chooses to cooperate on advice of counsel, that's up to her.
The detective, he did record maybe a few minutes, just audio of her interacting with the detective and her mother.
The crime we're investigating is an aggravated vehicular homicide ×2. I do want you to know that a lot of people are coming to us and reporting things. And so usually,
yes, I was told that.
Usually, the most accurate information we're going to get is from her. If there's
can I say something to her?
Yes.
She speaks to her mother in a unique language.
Yes.
It's a gibberish or a distortion of the English language. It's kind of like Pig Latin. Can we tell the police I had a seizure? Can we tell the police something like that? One of the first things that the girl said to the detective was instantly, "Can't you just take my driver's license away for 10 years?"
It's always about being prepared for the field.
And Kaiser pushes out good nurses.
I wanted to go somewhere that...
Yeah, like, can I just, like take my license away for, 10 years, something like that? Like, I don't know.
She's feeling some kind of guilt here. So that instantly starts making us think that this is not an accident.
Mackenzie's social media offered a possible clue.
I'm not even cool. I'm just one of those girls that can do a lot of drugs and not die.
This was a person who regularly smoked marijuana and drove her car under the influence of marijuana. They did find in her clothing, I think it was around 7 grams of psilocybin. In her clothing, I think it was around 7 grams of psilocybin mushrooms that tested positive for a controlled substance.
But the toxicology reports for Mackenzie indicated the levels for the mushrooms and the marijuana were not a likely factor.
The detective immediately filed a search warrant for her medical records and discovered that she had not reported any sort of blacking out, any sort of neurological failure. You realize there's no medical reason for this, that wasn't the cause. The next thing they looked at was, did the Toyota Camry suffer some sort of mechanical failure that led to this crash?
Car, bro.
So we had what's called a forensic mechanic go out and inspect that car. And he took apart the steering components, he looked at the suspension, the braking systems, the accelerator, and he determined that the Toyota Camry did not contribute to the crash through any sort of mechanical failure.
Nope.
The first break in the case came.
The Toyota ain't nothing wrong with them. Don't fuck them Camrys. I got one. The best car ever, all right? Can't fault them. They never go wrong.
From a grief-stricken friend of Davion, Tyler Croy.
I was just kind of shocked, really. I didn't really know how to process it all. And just knowing Davion, I just felt like there was more to the story than just an accidental crash.
Using an app called Life 360, Tyler and Davion and a few other friends were regularly tracking each other's phones.
Wherever Davion or anyone else in that circle went, it would just ping their exact location. So I basically just went back and looked at like the previous night. It showed that the car hit a top speed of like 90 miles per hour and there was no effort to like hit the brakes. We just decided to show that to the cops because we felt like that could help them like investigate it a little better.
This was kind of the first time that the police department had really got a grasp on how fast Mackenzie was driving. It really triggered them that something was not right here, something was off.
If it wasn't a mechanical failure, if it wasn't driving under the influence, what was it?
Right. She was flying. Jeez, at 5 in the morning.
All 3 of these kids grew up in Strongsville. They lived there. Their families lived there.
Welcome to the class of 2022 commencement ceremony.
And the crash came just a few weeks after 2 of them had graduated from the local high school.
Davion Markel Flanagan.
We were really looking forward to him, finding his path, becoming a man.
Mackenzie Ford Shirilla.
Classmates knew her as a kind of wild child.
Spotlight, hot nights, blue red and stoplight, ice late, big swerve, big wheel, rich taste, I serve.
Mackenzie had no boundaries for herself, and her parents had no boundaries for her either.
Mackenzie used to be outside, boy.
She felt like she was going to be the next big thing. Nobody loved Mackenzie better than herself.
She probably would have. Oh, she is, no, shit.
360, big 360.
The third person in the car, Dominic Russo, was a few years older and the boyfriend of Mackenzie.
Mackenzie was 17 and Dominic was close to 20, and they had been dating for several years at that point. They were living together, and Mackenzie was living there full time.
Oh.
He was interested in music. He was investigating a possibility of joining the military.
He really lived for Mackenzie. He did everything for her. When Mackenzie said jump, Dominic said how high.
And it started to fit with the picture of who Mackenzie Shirilla really was, which was an out-of-control high schooler, 17-year-old child, who was permitted to live with a 20-year-old man in his house while she was doing poorly in high school.
Her parents were following her on social media when she was posting these videos of herself wearing pretty much nothing, doing drugs, drinking, at college parties at 17. Her mom was liking these posts. Her mom supported it.
Oof.
And in fact, it continued while Mackenzie was still in the hospital.
They were Instagramming back and forth with some modeling company. She's in the hospital, having her mom reach out on her behalf, letting everyone know that this was just a tragic accident that she was in, more or less hoping to gain people's attention, using this as almost like propaganda for her modeling career.
You're using AI every day, but you're leaving 80% of it on the table. Here's the fix. Next time you open ChatGPT.
The investigation had begun as a standard fatal traffic accident case, assigned to a rookie detective.
He was doing everything he possibly could to try and turn over every stone to show that this was an accident. He didn't want this to be a double homicide.
But interviews with people who knew Mackenzie, including former boyfriend Tyler Proctor, only added to the evidence that this was no accident.
She mentally just not all there? I mean,
Yeah, I don't think she's just mentally all there. I personally feel like she was trying to kill herself in that crash, and she failed on doing so, is what I feel like. And I feel like she had no regard for Davion, and I feel like they got in an argument, her and Dom, and she threatened to kill him.
So detectives wanted to know what was going on at the home where Mackenzie and Dominic Russo were living together in a contentious relationship.
You lied. You lied and said you would never lock me out of the house again. That is why we got back together last time we broke up.
Dominic recorded many of the angry fights.
You broke up with me earlier. Because you were a little weak.
You broke up with me earlier. You really broke up with me earlier.
This is your last chance to open the door, or you are not coming out of this house all night, because I will not leave.
Why would I just let you in the house if you break up with me and you're threatening to break my
No.
you're threatening to key my car, threatening to break
I will
the doors.
key your car if you do not let me in the house.
You're gonna key my car if I don't let
If you don't let me in the house, yes.
They had broken up numerous times. They would break up and then get back together. And I think that Dominic wanted to kind of move on from that. He was sick of the way Mackenzie was treating him.
You're gonna come open this door right now, or there's gonna be a serious problem.
I can't. No, like, you can't keep making all these threats. Like, I can't
And you
open the
can't
door.
get kicked. I'm gonna break into your house then.
Dude, what? No, what the actual? Okay.
Now open the door.
In
Dom,
my
I will
house.
break. I will break. Do I have to like call the police?
Why? Why would you call the
Do I have to
police?
call the police? Are you not gonna let me into my house?
This is not your house.
The calls themselves were so important because they showed us that dynamic. Dominic had said, I'm done. I'm gonna end it with Mackenzie, and this time it's gonna be for real. I want to move on. Dominic felt the pressure that Mackenzie was putting on him. He felt that threatening nature, and I truly believe that he felt at that time that she was going to harm him at some point.
Two weeks before the crash, there was another blow-up as the couple drove along a Cleveland highway.
Dominic called his mother and said, Mackenzie is driving reckless. We are on the highway. She is, threatening me, and I need help. I need to get out of this car.
A friend went to pick up Dominic.
And he heard Mackenzie say, Dominic, I will crash this car. I swear I will crash this car.
That girl had no regards for nobody.
Davion was a shooting star, streaking across the night sky for too short a period of time.
You are so loved, and we are eternally grateful to have been chosen to be your parents.
The vigil, they lit those candles and they stayed there past midnight, and they just spent the night. They refused to leave the crash site, mourning the loss of 2 innocent lives.
As friends and family mourned the deaths of Davion Flanagan and Dominic Russo, the parents were getting more unsettling news.
The detectives were the ones that kind of started hinting at it. They're saying they believe our son may have been murdered.
It's almost unfathomable because who drives into a building at 100 miles an hour on purpose?
All right. Building got a little
It's
dent
one
in
thing
it.
to lose him, but for it to have been an intentional act, that was really a whole new level to the grieving, a whole new level to the trauma.
The fucking engines outside of the fucking car. The engines where the wheels should be at.
6 weeks after the crash, we received some flowers from the Shirilla family. I did receive a text message. I would never do this. This was a terrible accident.
Make some noise!
Donna's loving the sound of selling and earning on Vinted. Don't wear it, sell it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Twice Yearly Prep is here. One office visit every 6 months, 2 times a year for HIV prevention.
And Mackenzie's social media posts added to the pain.
Mackenzie went with her best friend to Ohio University's Halloween and just really blasted herself all over social media. She had dressed up as a zombie, where she was wearing next to nothing, showing zero remorse for anything that had just happened. In no way, shape, or form did she look like she was sad or injured or really had any care for any consequences of what lied ahead.
This wasn't a girl who was sitting at home weeping like her mother said. She was out partying with her friends and in the most classless way possible.
In a text exchange, Mackenzie told Dominic's mother it was just an accident.
It's difficult for me to conceive or consider that she could have done this and not been intending to take her own life as well.
Whether Mackenzie was homicidal or suicidal, you know, to us didn't matter. Mackenzie had a death mission that day, and I don't think Mackenzie cared who was gonna die in that car.
And prosecutors had the car's event data recorder, the so-called black box, to prove it.
The black box in this car recorded the last 5 seconds leading up to impact. It took that car 20 to 25 seconds to get up to that speed.
Damn.
She had 100% acceleration and 100% force applied to the pedal, and she not one time had ever applied the brake. She had time to formulate the decision. She had time to stop herself if she wanted to, and she did not.
Damn.
Dominic and Davion, they didn't have their seatbelts on. To me, I always thought that meant that it was very likely they saw what was happening. It's likely they were trying to do something to avert their fate, but that it was just too late.
The totality of this evidence just really hammered in the fact that this, even though nobody really wanted this to be a terrible, horrible, purposeful double homicide, it was. That's exactly what it was.
Shit's crazy.
3 months later, Mackenzie Shirilla was placed under arrest.
Hi, Mackenzie. Step out for me. I'm Detective Jesus. I'm the one who's been investigating the crash. You're under arrest for aggravated murder ×2, okay? Nobody's gonna ask you any questions?
She weaponized that car. She used that car as a weapon to take Dominic's life. I don't think she ever even considered Davion for a second.
Exactly.
Number 679612.
That poor kid got caught up in that shit.
Because she was 17 when the crash happened, Mackenzie was charged as a juvenile.
She would have been facing a prison sentence up to her 21st birthday. That's the maximum she would have been looking at.
It appeared she just thought this was not going to be a big deal, that she was just going to go on living her life.
We had a 3-day hearing at juvenile court where we have to convince the juvenile judge that we've got good evidence to proceed and allow her to be tried as an adult for murder.
Once the case was moved out of juvenile court, Mackenzie's parents were able to hire a well-known Ohio defense lawyer, who then tried to negotiate a plea deal.
Mackenzie Shirilla had offered essentially what would have amounted to juvenile probation as a penalty that she was willing to take on. We allow the victims' families to have a lot of input on this, and nobody was interested in that. They felt like she had murdered their sons and loved ones, and they did not want her to walk off with a slap on the wrist.
Mackenzie Shirilla would be prosecuted as an adult, facing a possible sentence of life in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the trial for a Strongsville teen charged with murder in a deadly crash is going on today, day one.
The parents of the young men who were killed attended court every day.
We felt that our son didn't have a voice anymore and that he needed us to fight for that justice, to fight for truth.
We thought it was interesting that she showed up wearing some sort of cast or brace on her arm. We didn't find any medical reason for that.
Mackenzie chose to forego a trial by jury, choosing a bench trial. The judge would decide her fate.
Oh, I've never seen that kind of split before.
Mr. McDonald, on July 31st, a Sunday morning, 6:15 in the morning, Strongsville police and emergency personnel received a 911 call that there was a single car, high-impact collision.
Prosecutor Tim Troop went immediately to the accident scene photos and the surveillance video of the actual crash.
To see that video, that was the first time that we saw the actual crash video.
5 coders, ready to build more? Meet Base 44.
That showed the horrifying last few moments of my son's and Dominic's life. There was no other explanation, no other logical explanation than this was done on purpose. And it just was shocking, absolutely shocking.
This data shows strikingly 100% acceleration through the entire final 5 seconds. It also shows no service brake was deployed during that final 5 seconds.
As soon as the prosecutor began the opening arguments narrating the details of the deadly crash, she broke down into tears.
You will hear a little bit about the relationship between the defendant and Dominic. We will play the videos that Dominic Russo recorded in the weeks leading up to this fatal crash. This is the defendant's version of what happened on July 31st. I don't remember the accident. All I remember is turning on the street and then my vision fading into black. Your Honor, this is our case. This is the type of evidence that at the conclusion of putting on for you, we will ask you, Your Honor, and anticipate findings of guilt on all counts in our indictment. Thank you.
Your Honor, may it please the court. When I first got this case and saw that the charge was murder, I thought to myself, boy, if this is murder, they have to prove that Mackenzie purposely did something. So if she's driving the car and it was her purpose to kill these people, she must have wanted to kill herself too. If need be, if that's the prosecutor's theory, we will put on numerous witnesses who will say that she was not suicidal. If they only have 5 seconds of recordings, how can you come to any conclusion other than, if anything, she's reckless? And for those reasons, I think that is will conclude my opening statement. Thank you.
Did you at any point provide the Strongsville Police Department with some videos that you had obtained that had conversations between Mackenzie and Dominic?
Yes.
Prosecutors used Dominic Russo's mother, Christine, to introduce the videos Dominic recorded of his fights with Mackenzie.
You are a little weak. This is your last chance to open the door. Do not open. You think I'm joking. You think I'm joking. I'm dead.
What does the next 10 minutes and 28 seconds contain?
It's just, it's the same thing of Mackenzie and threatening Dom.
She threatened his property?
Mm-hmm.
She threatened to break into his house?
Correct.
I will keep your car if you do not let me in the house.
Kenzie, you're threatening to break. You're like, oh, I'm gonna break the glass. You're threatening crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna break into your house.
Did Dominic threaten the defendant?
No.
How would you describe Dominic's tone on these videos?
Very calm.
How would you describe the defendant's tone on these videos?
Irate and angry.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
There was no cross-examination.
Today was definitely the most emotional day of the trial so far. The prosecution played surveillance video of the crash multiple times and showed autopsy photos of the 2 victims.
The parents of the 2 young men killed in the crash watched it all. Davion's parents, Jamie and Scott Flanagan, and Dominic's mother, Christine Russo, burying her head in a friend's shoulder.
Mrs. Russo got so upset she had to run out of the room. I was sick to my stomach at the end, just tears streaming down my face, and I can barely breathe.
That fucking sucks, bro.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you. Just take a seat, watch the step.
Can you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Natalie Shirilla, Shirilla.
And do you see Mackenzie in the courtroom?
I do.
What's your relationship to her?
It's my daughter.
The second her mom took that stand, you could already see her breaking down.
Prior to the date of this accident, did you ever see or hear your daughter express suicidal thoughts?
Never.
It's been testified in the medical records that your daughter suffered from POTS. Do you know what POTS is?
Yes.
Can you please tell us what POTS is?
POTS is it's a condition where your blood pressure gets very low, and it happens sometimes when you stand up too fast, you can pass out.
Have you observed your daughter experience these symptoms?
Yes.
On how many occasions prior to this accident?
Multiple, couple for sure, multiple, yeah.
No further questions.
Cross.
So you were aware of these POTS incidents, yet you still went to the BMV and said, give my daughter a driver's license.
Yes.
You signed off on her operating a car on the highway.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
Knowing that she had this issue?
It's not required to disclose it on a driver's permit. They didn't tell me I had to do that. I know people that have POTS and don't have it on theirs.
But this is your daughter, and you're giving your blessing to her for years to operate a car, correct?
Yes.
You never told her not to drive the car because of this POTS diagnosis.
She's been able to manage it.
And so you're here to tell us today that you're here to tell us that this was the reason that she crashed the car into the Plitco building. Isn't that the bottom line?
It could be.
Could it be?
It could be.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Learning anatomy and physiology is painful. But what if you've been studying all wrong?
Any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Do you rest?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so this will be the closing arguments.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon. May it please the court, opposing counsel. This video says it all. That after she turned onto this turn and she was driving the speed limit, Mackenzie Shirilla accelerated her speed. That car did not miraculously combust from 25 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour. She put her foot to that pedal and slowly pushed that gas until she reached the speed she wanted to go. No one but her did that. When you drive a motor vehicle 100 miles an hour into a brick wall, the logical result is death. And we ask that you find Mackenzie Shirilla guilty on every count. Thank you.
Your Honor, may it please the court. Opposing counsel. The photographs, horrific. But that doesn't have anything to do with what is the ultimate decision you have to come with here. And we are really never going to know what happened in that car. Could Dominic have grabbed the steering wheel? I don't know. What's to say that she didn't panic and think knew she was going too fast, tries to get off, and just goes even harder on the gas? We don't know that, but that's just as possible as anything. So, Judge, I think the state has failed to meet their burden of proof, except as it comes to the counts of where the reckless, the aggravated vehicular homicide, as well as the count of possession of criminal tools and possession of drugs. Thank you.
I think the evidence is clear, Your Honor, that this catastrophe took place at the conclusion of a rocky and tumultuous relationship between Mackenzie Shirilla and Dominic Russo. I don't want it to be lost on whatever happened, Judge, was because of that relationship. That is why this took place. And what about Davion? He's just cargo in the back seat. No consideration at all. No reason to take Davion's life. Whatever she had in for Dominic, he was just along with his friend and just got sucked into a toxic relationship and just got in the wrong back seat that night. Thank you, Your Honor. We ask you to find her guilty on all counts.
The judge says she'll deliver a verdict on Monday at 1 p.m.
There was many sleepless nights. It was hard to sleep because You just didn't know what the judge was going to decide.
It was through the weekend, and then Monday was the verdict.
This trial is a culmination of decisions made by one person. And those decisions have forever altered the futures of 3 families.
She had written notes and started to give her thoughts on the case in its entirety. And so for the first couple minutes, we weren't sure where she was going with this.
The video clearly shows the purpose and intent of the defendant. She chose a course of death and destruction.
As the judge was reading off the verdict, I saw Mackenzie mouth something along the lines of, "Oh my gosh."
She morphs from a responsible driver to literal hell on wheels as she makes her way down the street. She had a mission and she executed it with precision. The mission was death. Mackenzie alone decided to push the pedal to the floor, demand the ultimate speed of that vehicle to 90 to 100 miles per hour. The totality of the evidence clearly demonstrates Mackenzie Shirilla acted purposely and intentionally. In the early morning hours of July 31st, 2022, and her purpose was to kill Dominic Russo.
A couple of years ago.
The verdict, when she's finally being read these things from the judge, she and her mother seem to be in utter shock and disbelief.
This was not reckless driving. This was murder. Count 1. The court, having had count 1 tried to a pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder to wit Dominic Russo. Count 2. Finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder to wit Davion Flanagan. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you, Davey.
I think I squeezed my wife's hand very hard because it was such a relief of so much. It just seemed to wash away when we heard that verdict.
Demand the Limits Injury Attorneys. Call us now or visit us at reasonstoswitch.com.
Serious dictation was driving me crazy, so I switched to whisper flow. Here's why I'll never go back. First off,
Today is an emotional and a stressful day for 3 families, and for the defendant, and for those who care for Davion, Dominic, and Mackenzie. I'm now prepared to hear from anybody who would like to speak on behalf of the state.
My son Davion is and always will be so much more than cargo. He was precious. He was an amazing soul with a heart of gold. We will make sure your memory lives on, and we ache for the day that we are united again in eternity. Thank you.
I'm Christine Russo. I'm Dominic's mother. No one wanted this to be a murder or to punish Mackenzie Shirilla for this accident. But this was not a car accident. The evidence and science proved that Mackenzie Shirilla murdered my son, Dominic, as well as Davion. We all know what happened in that car that day. What we don't know is why. Social media has made a game out of the life of Mackenzie and is making a game out of this heart-wrenching tragedy. Mackenzie, going to prison because you did this. Be thankful that you're still alive and have a future, whatever that may be.
Exactly.
Mackenzie showed no mercy on Dominic, nor did she on Davion. Only God at this time can have mercy on her soul. Thank you.
R.I.P. to them boys, for real. And my condolences to the family. They sound like they were beautiful kids.
Tragic nightmare accident to have happened that she has no memory of, and she will never emotionally or physically recover from it.
I'm hearing an awful lot about your daughter. I'm not hearing very much about the 2 dead people.
Dominic, okay, I'm asking you for leniency because this was a tragic accident that she does not remember. And Davion, he's a new friend, and I'm so sorry.
What does that mean? His life is worthless?
No. God,
God, no, not at all. I understand what it looks like. I'm saying that it was a tragic accident. She would never.
Well, we're gonna have to disagree on that.
I understand.
Right.
That's all. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
I love you. Is there anyone else?
I would like Mackenzie to address the court.
Oh, what the fuck is she gonna say?
The families of Dom and Davion, so deeply sorry. I hope one day you can see I would never let this happen or do it on purpose. I wish I could remember what happened. I'm just so sorry. I'm heartbroken. I love Dom and Davion. We were all friends and Dom was my soulmate. I wish I could take all your pain away. And I'm so sorry. And to my family, thank you for the support and all the love you guys give. Thank you for fighting for me. I love you all so much.
I understand that the pain in this room wants me to impose the harshest sentence. But I don't believe that would be the appropriate sentence, because I do believe that Mackenzie will not be out in 15 years. So she's sentenced on count 2, the murder of Davion Flanagan, 15 years to life. She's sentenced on count 1, the murder of Dominic Russo, 15 years to life, to be served concurrent to each other.
I'll be honest, we were taken aback that the sentences were run concurrently. We were taken aback. She is essentially serving the same sentence that she would have if only one of the boys had been in the car. That's hard to stomach. We are just thankful that we feel justice was served today. There's not a day that goes by that we don't miss our son, and justice was served for him today. But honestly, there's no winners here. There's no winners here today.
His parents, Jamie and Scott, are honoring their son through a scholarship fund. Davion's dream was to become a barber and someday start his own barber shop. Even though he could never fulfill his dream, his family has started the scholarship to help others go to barber school to keep the dream going.
He would be honored.
He would be absolutely honored. Davion always said we were his second chance. Being adopted was his second chance. That to me would be making the most good out of a truly terrible and horrific situation.
Yeah, crazy. All right, that was the first one. I do have another one. I definitely do have another video for you, buddy. No, but that's fucking crazy, bro. Drive responsibly. Please don't be speeding. Don't do nothing crazy, man. Word. Here's our second one. Is 5 twisted details left out of the viral Mackenzie Shirilla documentary, which it is a documentary on Netflix called The Crash. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all watched it already. If you're here, come on, full screen it, buddy. Let's see what's going on. What's the
investigating the crash? You're under arrest for aggravated murder ×2.
We're following fallout from the documentary that everyone is talking about. Mackenzie Shirilla spoke out for the first time since her murder conviction in connection to the crash that killed her boyfriend Dominic Russo and a friend Davion Flanagan. But I'll show you the parts of the story you didn't see in the documentary.
How you guys did this on the weekend is just, well, all you do is go, hey, there's a warrant for, we would have brought it right down here with no problem. It's just unbelievable.
And why Mackenzie's dad now appears to be in big trouble after the movie's release. We're on The Case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
I'll go subscribe to their channel.
Hey guys, real quick, before we get into this episode of On The Case, I need to tell you about this free app, Upside, that can get you cash back when you buy daily essentials like gas, groceries. Back where I spend, user, click the link to get the crowd, looks at a is out on Netflix. It is a shocking true crime documentary that looks at a case that we have talked about a lot here on Law and Crime. And in this movie, for the first time, we see Mackenzie Shirilla give an interview from inside of prison as she is serving 15 years to life since her conviction in 2023.
This is what my desk looks like after a long day of work.
Let's do a desk reset. I always clean the outside part of my Mac.
Always clean up your
One of the more shocking parts of this documentary, it's not just what Mackenzie had to say, it's what her parents had to say. And there's been a lot of criticism of them after this movie was released. And to this day, they say their daughter's innocent. Mackenzie says she doesn't remember what happened on the night that she drove a car 100 miles per hour into a wall, killing Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan. Now, the evidence proved otherwise. A judge in Ohio found Mackenzie Shirilla guilty in 2023, and she is serving 15 years to life in a prison in Ohio. Now, the fallout that we're talking about today has to do with Mackenzie's dad. He is featured prominently in this documentary. He unapologetically supports his daughter and says that she is innocent and that the judge got it wrong. But now it appears he's in trouble with his job because of what he said in the documentary. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. And we're also going to talk about some of the parts of the story that you didn't see in this documentary. It's a really good documentary, but I was surprised that there were some parts of the evidence that prosecutors laid out in the trial that didn't make it into the movie. So let's dive into how we got to this point. Mackenzie Shirilla was 17 years old, and in 2022, she is dating Dominic Russo. And she, like a lot of teens, is very active on social media back then. These are some of the images that she posted to her TikTok. And in 2022, she's dating this 20-year-old named Dominic Russo. This is a picture of the two of them together. They reportedly dated for multiple years. The couple actually lived together in one of Dominic's family's homes. Mackenzie's parents in the documentary, The Crash, they really paint this relationship as something that's beautiful, young love. One day, her dad says that the couple potentially was going to get married. Mackenzie, in her own words, says, had the crash not happened, it was likely that she was going to be Dominic's wife today. But prosecutors say that story, it couldn't be further from the truth. They say, don't let the pictures fool you. This relationship was far from perfect. In fact, they say this relationship was toxic. Dominic's family testified in the murder trial that the couple would often fight. Dominic's mom said that the couple would make threats against one another.
Like before, you lied. You lied and said you would never lock me out of the house again. That is why we got back together last time we broke up. But I forgot. You can never broke up with me your earlier. Word because you were.
You broke up with me earlier. You really broke up with me earlier.
This is your last chance to open the door, or you are not coming out of this house all night because I will not leave.
That's a phone call between Mackenzie and Dominic that was part of the evidence in the case, and it just gives you a glimpse into what this relationship was like. And in the early hours of the morning, on July 31st, 2022, this relationship turned deadly. That's video of Mackenzie behind the wheel, driving more than 100 miles per hour into a wall around 5:30 in the morning. Here's video from before the crash of the car with Mackenzie driving, fully in control, rounding the corner at a normal speed before prosecutors say Shirilla floored it. Dominic was in the car as well as Davion. Both of them died. But at this point, during the crash recovery, it didn't appear in the car as well as driving 5:30 in the morning. Here's video from before the crash of the car with Mackenzie driving, in control, rounding the corner at a normal speed before prosecutors say Shirilla floored it. Dominic was in the car as well as Davion. Both of them died. But at this point, during the crash recovery, it didn't appear that we were dealing with a murder.
Radio. This car's split in two.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, we've seen this part already.
Conscious.
We've seen all this already.
Don't touch in the murder left behind from an hour later. And here's a clear picture of just
They found him an
how
hour later?
bad this car was mangled. Mackenzie claimed that she blacked out, that all of this was an accident. There's no when you look at the wreckage left behind from this crash. Mackenzie was airlifted to a hospital with multiple fractures. Now, in the Netflix documentary, The Crash, producers don't touch on this, and I was surprised they didn't, because it was a key piece of evidence for prosecutors in the murder trial. And that evidence is that prosecutors say that there's cell phone data that shows that Mackenzie was in this area, the area where this crash happened, days before. And prosecutors argued that it showed that Mackenzie was scoping this area out. Now, in the vehicle, police found a weed pen, a bong, and multiple grams of marijuana. That certainly played a role in the story that prosecutors told as well. And Mackenzie's dad, in the documentary, talked about how his daughter regularly used marijuana. But prosecutors argued because she often smoked weed, that it wasn't something that would have impaired her and led to her putting her foot on the gas, as the black box in the car showed, and flooring it into a wall at 100 miles per hour. Prosecutors say she was not impaired at the time of this crash. As Mackenzie was recovering in the hospital, she played the role of a grieving girlfriend publicly. Prosecutors would later argue that she wanted to turn that role as a victim into something where she could make money, working as a model.
Shortly after the crash, Strongsville police.
With Base 44, a simple sentence becomes your
So she had a
website.
plan. She had a plan. She was
Were
needing to
notified
execute
that
it.
they had received concerning emails from the community that the defendant and her mother were seeking employment with the Los Angeles modeling agency. Kenzie Shirilla said to Vitali, "Thank you for the comment. I would love to work with you guys. I've been emailing you guys a lot. Such a great opportunity. Thank you."
A classmate shared this text message with investigators that shows Shirilla asking for him to go get pictures of her from Dominic's room so she could put them in Dominic's casket at his funeral so, quote, he can be with me forever. Shirilla also went to a concert in the months after the crash in a wheelchair, as you can see here. Prosecutors used it as trial to once again prove that she was not a mourning girlfriend, but was trying to capitalize on what had happened. Now, if you watch the documentary, there were also people who were friends of Mackenzie Shirilla who argued it wasn't in her character that she would do something like take the lives of two people, including the life of someone who she had dated for a long period of time. That's something that prosecutors didn't buy. It's certainly something that the judge that decided the verdict in this case did not buy.
The police were provided additional videos of the defendant from her wheelchair as she attended a concert down in the Flats. And again, Your Honor, I'm introducing these to the court to show the shocking lack of remorse. This was something that was being exhibited while the investigation was still going on, before she was charged and arrested in November of last year. And these were the sort of things that were coming to the police, and the shocking lack of remorse, coupled with the fact that the defendant was reported driving an automobile shortly after this event, that she was seen in Strongsville again driving a car. In spite of the fact
Somebody
that
let her
mother
get behind the wheel
testified,
after that?
she got dizzy sometimes from a condition that she had to take salt pills for, in spite of the fact that it was in fact her mother who provided her with the car that she used to take Dominic and Davion's life.
But as Mackenzie played the part of a victim, authorities built their case, and in November of 2022, she was arrested.
Where's she? Right back there, pal. Hi, Mackenzie. Step out for me. I'm Detective Jesus. I'm the one who's been investigating the crash. You're under arrest for aggravated murder ×2, okay? Nobody's gonna ask you any questions. Nobody's gonna bother you. Can I have your key, please?
Could you please be careful taking this one off so it doesn't break the bracelet, please?
You got it. You got it. You want my glass? No.
Thank you.
You got it. Okay, just keep your hands right here.
It's a heavy duty ass cuffs.
I'm not gonna tighten these, okay? I don't want to hurt you. You good? Are they good? Thank you. All right. This cruiser right here?
Actually, he took her out of the car and we did not.
Okay. Do you have anything I pockets, anything like that? Watch your head going in. Don't. I'm not gonna hurt you. You okay?
This is video of Shirilla in the back of the cruiser being taken to the county jail. She seems solemn. She seems emotional.
What happens now? What am I doing?
Okay, well, Mackenzie's 18, so
The lawyer said they called and said that, not to talk to any cops because she's legal counsel.
Yeah, and we read her rights because she's 18, and we are not going to ask her any questions. We have nothing to ask her, so we're not going to ask her anything anyway. So when we're done with our booking process, she will likely be processed downtown. We'll transport her downtown.
That is video of Mackenzie Shirilla's mom at the police station after her daughter was taken into custody. Again, Mackenzie's mom and dad defiantly stand by their daughter saying that she is innocent, even though prosecutors would point to the black box of the car she was driving, showing that the gas was pressed down to the floor. There was no effort to brake whatsoever. Here is video of Mackenzie's dad showing up at the police station. Here's what he says to authorities.
I need to speak to my daughter because you guys aren't allowed to speak to her at all. That's from the lawyer. He does not want you guys speaking to her. And I can get him on the phone, and he can tell you that over the phone if that works, or I can go in and tell her not to open her mouth. But how you guys did this on the weekend is just, well, all you do is go, hey, there's a warrant for, we would have brought her right down here with no problem. It's just unbelievable. I mean, she's 18.
So the warrant was issued today, so we executed it today. The warrant was
This game, you're not ready for it.
issued earlier.
Well, you could have made a phone call, couldn't you? You had your creeper out in front of my yard watching.
So, she can't take any, she's an adult, she can't take any phone calls right now. She'll be transferred downtown. Okay. I don't know when.
Service just called to advise.
She'll be transferred downtown.
Okay, well, I still need to speak to my daughter so she understands whatever, not to say anything to you guys.
Okay, and I don't know about the phone. I would have to ask about that.
When you go find it's mine, it's not hers. I mean, I do need it. I have other children.
And that's how we communicate.
Yeah, and that's how we communicate.
Okay, so
I do need my phone.
I mean, BP had to roll out the whole mess to pick up an 18-year-old girl who can hardly walk out of a hospital visit. It's just beyond me.
So we follow the law, and that's what we're doing today. So the phone that was in her hand is the one that we took, but I'd have to check with the detective to find out what's going on with that. I don't know the answer to that.
Can we find out? I do need it like right now.
Let me at least.
I have another child.
No, I get it. So we got a lot to do.
Thank you.
Am I going to be allowed to have a 2-minute conversation with her?
You cannot talk to her while she's here. No.
Why doesn't she get a phone call? If you arrest her, why don't she get a phone call?
She was just brought in. They're going to process her. As soon as they get the time for her to make a phone call, she will be able to make a phone call.
You just need to advise her. She has a lawyer.
She's a lawyer. She does have a lawyer.
She is 18 years old and she could speak that.
Yeah, but she's a dumb 18-year-old that just turned 18.
Well,
and you guys are no. Okay. All the kids nowadays are dumb, and these guys are going to take advantage of her. She's not allowed to speak to you guys. I'm telling you that.
Her
from her
attorney
lawyer.
can call us.
Don't ask her any questions. She's not allowed to speak to you.
Mackenzie's dad is now facing his own issues after this documentary dropped on Netflix. Before we get into that, I want to talk about Mackenzie's trial. So it's 2023, and Mackenzie, again, she argued, and she still argues to this day, that she doesn't remember what happened that night. She has no recollection, she says. Mackenzie opted for a judge to decide her innocence or guilt, not a jury. And that judge found Mackenzie guilty on 12 charges, 4 counts of murder, 4 counts of felonious assault, 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide, 1 count of drug possession, and 1 count of possessing criminal tools. At sentencing, this is what Mackenzie said.
Is there anyone else?
I would like Mackenzie to address the court.
Mackenzie, you don't have to speak if you don't want to. It's up to you. Okay? You can sit if it's more comfortable, whatever's better for you.
The families of Dom and Davia, I'm so deeply sorry. I hope one day you can see I would never let this happen or do it.
Why is your dad in trouble? I want to know
I
that.
wish I could remember what happened. I'm just so sorry. I'm heartbroken. I love Dom and Davia. We were all friends and Dom was my soulmate. I wish I could take all your pain away. And I'm so sorry. And to my family, thank you for the support and all the love you guys give. Thank you for fighting with me. I love you all so much. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now you can hear there that Mackenzie still claimed what happened wasn't her fault. And if she had appealed, her defense may have pointed to what they believed was a lack of evidence proving that she knew what she was doing. But we'll talk a little bit more in a moment about why she won't be able to appeal. Now, prior to Mackenzie's victim impact statement, Mackenzie's mom addressed the court, and it did not go well.
She would never, ever, ever murder the love of her life, okay? For Halloween, for 3 months after the accident, she would only wear his clothes. She would only eat the snacks he ate. She would only listen to the music he wrote, okay? She was laying in bed for 3 months crying. There was a shrine of him next to her with photos and things that he liked and this flower that lights up that he got her because he wanted it to be fresh and alive forever. It's like a little Beauty and the Beast flower. Okay, she's got this shrine of him next to her. So she was crying for 3 months. So her friends asked if she wanted to go out trick-or-treating or Halloween, and it was at OU. And she didn't even want to go. She said, I don't know, should I go? She couldn't even walk yet, barely. So I told her, I said, baby, please go. It's Halloween. You've been laying for 3 months crying, only listening to his music. Please go. Have just a moment of fun. A moment of fun. So we told her to go. My husband drove her. I brought her back home. She just needed a second of fun from losing her whole world. Her whole world. So that was us. We told her to go. And that concert she went to with Dom's cousin, Abby, they picked her up. They brought her there. That was Dom, Mackenzie and Dom and Abby all decided to go to this concert together while they were in the hospital. That was for Dom. Everything she did after the accident was either in honor of him, to be close to him, or just to be by him any way that she can. She's like devastated and tragic. He was the air that she breathes, okay? And they went with his cousin. We spent all kinds of time with him after the accident. What was the other thing?
I'm hearing an awful lot about your daughter. I'm not hearing very much about the 2 dead people.
Dominic, okay, I'm asking you for a leniency because this was a tragic accident that she does not remember. And Davion, he's a new friend. And I'm so sorry.
What does that mean? His life is worthless?
No. Okay. God, no, not at all. They all loved each other. They all spent every day together. You know what I mean? I don't know too much for him.
Isn't that part of the problem, Mrs. Shirilla?
Sorry?
Isn't that part of the problem, that they all trusted each other? Isn't that part of...
It's not a problem at all. It was wonderful.
It's a problem how they all ended up in the car together and 2 of them ended up dead.
I understand. I understand what it looks like. I'm saying that it was a tragic accident. She would never...
Well, we're going to have to disagree on that.
I understand.
Right.
Then it was the judge's turn to speak.
There's only one person who's responsible for the pain of everyone in this room, and that person is you, Mackenzie. Nobody else is responsible. This isn't the fault of Dominic's family, or Davion's family, or your family. And I know that each of you have asked your questions to yourselves, what if? What if I had done this or that? The truth of it is, none of us can control the intentions of another. And when there is a purposeful intent to harm or kill someone, it is the perpetrator alone who bears the responsibility for the choice and the consequences and the harm that follows. The difficulty for sentencing today, honestly, is whether or not
I believe you should get consecutive sentences. I'm troubled that should I give you a concurrent sentence, that people will believe that somehow I'm being disrespectful to one of the victims. And on the other hand, I have to weigh the punishment. There's a very good likelihood, Mackenzie, that you will spend the rest of your life in prison. That won't be up to me. That will be up to the parole board, and that will be up to you to a great extent. I understand that the pain in this room wants me to impose the harshest sentence, but I don't believe that would be the appropriate sentence, because I do believe that Mackenzie will not be out in 15 years.
In the documentary, it says that Mackenzie's appeal was denied. There is a little more context to that I want to talk about here in just a moment, but let's talk about Mackenzie's dad. He works as a teacher at a Catholic school in Cleveland. His name is Steve Shirilla, and he teaches art and digital media at Mary Queen of Peace School. This week, he was placed on administrative leave because of, quote, poor judgment. According to local media outlet Cleveland 19 News, Mary Queen of Peace School reportedly sent this following email to parents, quote, "Dear Mary Queen of Peace School parents, families, and guardians, we are investigating allegations made on social media that one of our teachers has demonstrated poor judgment. Upon learning of the allegation, the school acted immediately and placed the teacher on administrative leave. The investigation is ongoing. We want every parent and family to know that the safety, well-being, and trust of our students remain among our highest priorities. We take all student concerns seriously and are committed to responding promptly and responsibly whenever concerns are brought forward. While we are limited in what we can share during an active personnel investigation, please know we are reviewing the matter and will provide additional communication as appropriate. We appreciate your continued support of the Mary Queen of Peace School community." Now, Mackenzie's dad confirmed to this television station, Cleveland 19 News, that he has been placed on administrative leave, and he also told the TV station that he's upset with the documentary. He's upset with how it was edited. But he also says he still believes that his daughter is innocent. Now, at the end of the documentary, you saw a part where they say that Mackenzie Shirilla's appeal was denied. There's a little more context to how that went down. There are some important dates to remember when it comes to how the trial proceeded for Mackenzie Shirilla. Shirilla was found guilty on August 14th, 2023. She was sentenced on August 21st, 2023. Her attorneys filed an appeal on October 24th, 2024. Her attorneys argued there wasn't enough evidence to prove that Mackenzie meant to kill Russo and Flanagan. But then in March of this year, her appeal was rejected, and it wasn't based on the facts of the case. It was denied because it was filed too late, just a day after the deadline to submit it. Shirilla and her attorneys have appealed the decision to not let her appeal. One of the arguments was, in 2024, it was a leap year, but the courts ruled against that. And in March, an appeals court said they were not going to let her appeal her verdict. Now, again, Mackenzie Shirilla is serving 15 years to life. It is possible that she could be released on parole when she's roughly 34 years old, which would be in 2038. However, again, it is also possible that she spends the rest of her life in prison. That will do it for On the Case, presented by Law and Crime. Subscribe to...
Damn. Shout out to Chris and them boys. Hold on. Y'all go subscribe to Law and Crime Network. Go like the video that they put out. Excuse me. Man, y'all drive responsibly. That's one and foremost. And then all that DV, domestic violence, man, if y'all gotta get to fighting and all that other stuff or threatening each other, it's over. Like, just know it ain't even worth it to be arguing and fighting and stuff like that when you're in a relationship. It's plenty fish in the sea, bro. Go out there. And I ain't never seen a turtle with speed. You know the rest of what I'm gonna say. So, Man, keep on pushing. Keep your head up. There's no reason to stay in a relationship that you're not needed in, or stay with something that doesn't needs your purpose anymore, or something like that. You get what I'm saying? And then put in the comments, man. Do y'all think she did it? Y'all think she did it, or do you truly think it was just a terrible accident and, you know, something happened to where she ended up going 100 miles per hour? You know, yeah, make it a debate. If you want, make it a debate in the comments. I want to know, do you think she did it? I personally think she did it. If you drive and you've been behind the wheel before, you know you have full control over the car unless something malfunction. And she had a Toyota Camry, and those cars are really good at telling you something's wrong with it before proceeding with a trip. Like, as soon as you turn the car on, it'll be like, hey, you need to, and it's annoying. Hey, you need to set an appointment to the dealership for routine maintenance, you know, or when you hit a certain amount of miles. Hey, I need an oil change. Like, it'll tell you something wrong with it. Or, hey, your tire's flat. Do you sure you want to proceed? Like, I mean, you could bypass it, obviously. But if there's something wrong with it, it will tell you. And only thing like that I could feel like would change this case to work in her favor as an accident is if something got stuck on the pedal. But apparently they had the forensic evidence and her shoe was the only thing on the pedal. So, I mean, I don't know. The whole case is like weird. Like they said, we will never know what actually happened in that car, but the way this stuff is presenting is like it was intentional. And RIP to both of those boys. You know, my condolences to their family. But other than that, that's the end of this video. Y'all have a good one. Like I always want to tell you, it's 24 in a day, 7 days in a week, 29 to 31 days in a month, depending on the month, and 365 days in a year, depending on the year. Don't let that moment spoil it. Y'all have a good one.